and welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great Monday, and hopefully it'll get a little bit better for you right now. Tonight we're back with the latest in sports, fashion, movie reviews, and the best indie music out there. Now, tonight we welcome multi-platinum recording artist Chingy. He's back with new music and a new tour that kicks off next week, so definitely want to sit down with him and see where he's been. You'll be curious to hear what he's been doing in the meantime. Now, on Hot Topics, we're talking about everything from the Jussie Smollett updates in that case. R. Kelly's finally arrested. He pled not guilty to 10 counts of sexual assault. And then the owner of the Patriots, New England Patriots, the owner of New England Patriots, Kraft, he was arrested. Robert Kraft was arrested in regards to a sex sting at an Asian spa where they do human trafficking. So a lot to talk about in Hot Topics. I want to remind you all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can get your t-shirts there. You can find out more about us. You can find out some of the work we've done in the community and just connect with us on our website and our social media. Also, you can find us on iHeartRadio, iTunes. Just go to thestephennightshow.com. When we come back, Hot Topics, right back after this.
Feels so good. Feels so good. Hey. It's KJ on the beat. We're all alone. Nobody knows. It's a little secret. That's how we should keep it. Baby, we've been creeping on the low. Time to waste. It's getting late. Can't jump off the deep end. Not supposed to be here, but it feels so good. Feels so right. When you love me like that, touch you right there. Kiss me on my neck. The love we make is real, and it feels so good. Feels so good. My love on top, give you what you need. When we make love, we get inside real deep, 'cause it feels so good. Feels so good. Yeah. Oh, so wrong, but the feeling strong. Every time I see you, I think about what we do. I can't help but think about it all the time. Close the door. Give me some more. You have my mind going every time you're doing your thing. And it feels so. When you love me like that, touch you right there. Kiss me on the neck. The love we make is real, and it feels so. Know it feels good. Feels so good. Feels so good to me. Put my love on top. Give you what you need. When we make love, we get inside real deep, 'cause it feels so good. Feels so good. Yeah. Now that you on top of me. Yeah, yeah. Now that you on top of me. On top of me. Now that you on top of me. Feels so good. Touch you right there. Kiss me on my neck. The love we make is real, and it feels so good. Feels so good. Feels so good. So good. So good. Put my love on top. Give you what you need. When we make love, we get inside real deep. Feels so good. She's a pro when she turns her swag on. Rockin' stiletto. She got her own door, but she won't let me hold the remote control. Shorty, she knows how to play those games. In the fourth quarter, all up in my lane. Say you want a man, but you won't let go. Baby girl, you got me on the girl. If you ready, come grab a hold of a real man that won't let go. Say you wanna roll to the next level. Why you want slow? Baby girl, you got me on the go. Hey, go, go. Girl, you got me on the go. Hey, go, go. Come here, girl, don't be shy. Grab a hold of my hand. Won't you give me a try? I'm like no other man. Don't collect $300. Keep them dice in your hand. Won't have to scream and holler. Won't you make me a man? Baby, I know you don't wanna do nothing uncomfortable. But baby, rest assured that we look good together in storm or sunny weather. Baby, let me know where you wanna go. Take it to the door, we could do whatever. Girl, if you're ready, come grab a hold of a real man that won't let go. Yeah. Say you wanna roll to the next level. Why you want slow? Baby girl, you got me on the go. Oh, go, go, go. Girl, you got me on the go. Yeah. Go, go, go. Break down. Yeah. I know you're scared. I reverse everything that ever broke your heart. Let's go. Oh, slow it out. Oh, man, stand to the score. Run over, yes. Oh, that long white man, wait over. Oh, I'm not eating every night. Oh, slow it out. Oh, man, stand to the score. Run over, yes. Oh, that long white man, wait over. Oh, I'm not eating every night. Girl, if you're ready, come grab a hold of a real man that won't let go. Say you wanna roll to the next level. Why you want slow? Baby girl, you got me on the go. Go, 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 go. Got me on the go. Oh, go, go. Girl, if you're ready, come grab a hold of a real man that won't let go. Say you wanna roll to the next level. Why you want slow? Baby girl, you got me on the go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Girl, you got me on the go.
All right, what's going on, y'all? It's Ricardo Grimhart in the airwaves. Right now, you listening to the Stephen Knight Show. Hey, don't go to sleep without saying your prayer.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how's it going?
Happy Monday. How are you guys doing?
Cannot complain, not whatsoever. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good, chill. It was a rainy weekend, so I didn't do much. How was yours?
My weekend was cool. We just hung out with some friends. My homeboy, Bernard, he moved to Miami today. So we just hung out with him Saturday and yesterday. But it was cool. And then, of course, we celebrated your birthday. We celebrated early with some of our old coworkers. And you and Andrea's birthday. That was a lot of fun catching up with everyone. So this is Pisces season.
Nice to see everyone, and we still celebrate each other's birthday, which is pretty cool.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was really fun seeing everyone. Thank you guys for everything too.
Yeah, so Miss Parker's birthday is on March 4th. Janera's birthday is on March 5th, and mine is on the 20th. So it's definitely Pisces season on the Stephen Knight Show.
Definitely.
Turn up.
Exactly. Now, I want to remind you, on our website, we have our new website, StephenKnightShow.com, where we've, gave it a facelift. Excuse me. You can order your T-shirts. You can find out more about our team and find out some of the things that we do in the community. So go to StephenKnightShow.com. All right, our question of the day is... Oh, Chike. My bad, Chike. The turn up threw me off. How was your weekend?
Our weekend was good. It kind of seems like, because I wasn't on last week, it kind of seems like it's been like a little mini vacation for me.
Exactly.
I'm still riding off the high from the previous weekend because I went down to AC to go see Miss Toni Braxton and SWV and the As Long as I Live tour. Very, very good. Very good.
And I saw some
footage. They showed me a good time.
I saw some footage of Toni on, she's on tour. She has the flu, but she's still out there killing it. She sounds good.
So, I mean, it's not a funny story, but it is a story. So when she came to Atlantic City, and she admitted that she was getting ready to get sick. It was the starting of the cold.
Yeah.
But she started singing "Unbreak My Heart," and she had recently just lost her aunt, and she said that was her aunt's favorite song.
I saw that.
She broke down in tears, like right in the middle of the concert.
I saw
that.
I
just wanted to run up there and grab her. Like, no, don't do that.
It's funny. I saw that video. I saw that video on YouTube, and I was reading the comments, and of course, our condolences to them that lost their aunt. But someone said, "Where do you think Tamar learned her drama from?"
Wow.
But no, shout out to the Braxton family, and definitely sorry for your loss. All right, so our question of the day is: are you always able to forgive and forget, Ms. Parker?
Yeah, when I read that question, I was a bit, I don't know, I guess maybe thrown off because I think they're two separate things. I think forgiveness is something separate, forgetting is something separate. So I don't think those necessarily go hand in hand. I don't think our experiences are meant to be forgotten. I think they're meant to be learned from. So you can forgive someone and remember the situation and learn from it. But I don't think those two necessarily go hand in hand. I don't think the forgetting part is necessarily part of human nature. I think that's just a saying. But our experiences is not something that we forget. So forgiving is part of growth and part of moving forward, but forgetting is not necessarily part of that process.
Right. Okay. Chike?
Real rap. I agree with Miss Parker. But what a lot of people don't understand is forgiveness is not about the other person or whatever exterior. The forgiveness is about yourself.
Exactly.
You have to get to a place within yourself that you're okay with whatever that is and move on. Because some people get stuck.
Yeah.
So forgiveness definitely for one. Forgetting, I mean, look at it like this. If you don't apply energy to something, especially something that's negative, you do kind of forget it, don't you?
That's true.
It's like back there.
Yeah. I definitely believe in forgiving. Again, you said it's not about the other person, it's about you. But I think if by forgetting it, it allows you to make that same mistake or allow that person to make that same mistake, in the future. And so you're supposed to learn from your experiences so that you can see the warning signs and things like that before it happens. So I think that's...
Steven, do you think people necessarily forget their experiences? What experience have you ever forgotten? Like that doesn't really make sense.
Well, no, I have actually...
We choose not to learn from it.
No, I've actually forgotten something. I remember when you convinced me to go on Facebook. You remember back in 2009, Ms. Parker said, "Okay, get on Facebook." So anyway, this guy that I grew up with, we went to school together. He lived in my neighborhood. And I guess we became friends on there. He sent me this long message apologizing to me, going on and on. I didn't know what he was talking about. I did not know what he was talking about. So I think some things can be forgiven, but I think traumatic things and it's how it impacts you, you don't forget those. I agree with you with that. You don't forget those.
Right,
yeah.
How it impacts you. So,
right.
For example, sometimes when I know for me, I've apologized to people and they're like, "What? That wasn't a big deal."
Yeah.
It impacted me because I felt like I may have hurt.
Right.
Or
yeah.
That may have caused them pain or did something, and to them it wasn't a big deal because their personality or who they are, their experiences didn't connect to it in a hurtful way.
Exactly.
But that's different. But I think forgiveness is when you are affected by something. So you don't forget that, right? It's when something affects you. It's when if you can't forgive something you don't know happened, or you can't forgive something that you're not attached to, or
right.
Are traumatized by or in some way hurt by, right?
Yeah.
So I think forgiveness only kicks in when it affects you, when it hits you. But if it's something that's happening, you're able to just blow it off, then forgiveness doesn't come into play. It's more of, that was just a passing, that person just said that doesn't affect me, whatever. But I think truth, hurt, and pain that requires forgiveness you always remember.
Yeah.
I think we do remember things. I think we sometimes choose not to get the lesson out of it.
Right.
You know, it's a saying that
Amen.
we repeat
Amen.
we repeat our cycle until we learn.
Yeah.
So there are lessons that come around 8, 9 times because we haven't learned from it. Not because we haven't forgiven the person or the situation, but because we really didn't seek out the lesson in it and learn from the lesson, not to repeat that cycle.
Exactly.
So I think forgiveness can only happen to things that impact you, and I think forgetting is not part of that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, tweet us, Stephen Knight Show, SHO, and let us know, are you always able to forgive and forget? All right, hot topic. So, more information is coming about the Jussie Smollett case. So, remember he supposedly wrote the check for $3,500 to the gentleman who he allegedly hired to attack him. Well, new documents show that he did not write that check for that. He wrote a check for a 5-week nutrition workout program. He even has text messages between him and the guy where the guy is telling him exactly what he should eat, telling him to make sure that, remember he was going out of town before the attack. He went to New York. The guy said, I know you're flying out today, but make sure you do 45 minutes of cardio. So apparently he was trying to lose 20 pounds to appear shirtless in a new video for a song he has called Don't Go. The police are still saying that the sheriff and the check, they actually have the check, and the check said, where in the subject line it says 5-week nutrition plan. The sheriff, he was on Good Morning America today, and he said that the two brothers told them that the check was for the attack, and that they have so much more information they have not released that proves that he did hire them to do this. What are your thoughts, Parker? You said you don't believe it?
I still don't believe it. I think, obviously he has some relationship with them. He's going to try to spin it. I just think he needs to the only way he can move forward as human being, the only way we can move forward from things that impact us and damages us or cause a lot of pain to other people is by admitting it and moving and saying, you don't get to make up all these excuses. I think for me, it's becoming a little bit more annoying and a little bit more tragic that he's still playing these games. I think he needs to just come up and say, you know what, here's the space I was in. Obviously, he wasn't in his right mind. Obviously, no one in their right space, in a good space, would do something like this. But why would the boys be in the store buying masks and all that? I mean, come on now. It's just ridiculous. Like, this whole spin that he's trying to do, obviously he's hired the most expensive team. He's hired expensive attorneys, management companies. They're going to try to spin it. That's what they're getting paid for. So they're doing their job, but I just think it's ridiculous. He could have saved his money hiring those people, admit what he did, paid the city back for the money they spent, and keep it moving. And I think it will go away faster if he did that instead of spinning the story, because he did pay people to spin the story, and that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Chica?
So I'm African American, and being raised African American in this country, growing up as a child, you were reared a certain way. So we used to have this thing in our family: when someone did something bad, in order to get out of getting your butt whooped, you would fall on the mercy of the belt. And falling on the mercy of the belt is you purge your soul with the truth about what you did, and 9 times out of 10, you would not get that whooping. But you had to fall on the mercy of this full exposure, or the mercy of the belt. This is what he needs to do with the country: fall on the mercy of the belt, and just give it all up and walk away from it.
Yeah. He go
on an island and chill after, just by yourself. Go chill.
After he was released from detention, he went to the set of Empire and told the cast, "I swear to you, I did not do this." They asked him to leave, and they wrote him out. They wrote him out of the last 2 episodes of the season. Apparently, they already recorded the other ones or filmed the other ones. But it's interesting because on the Stephen Knight Show, our Instagram page, we posted a video of an interview with Terrence Howard, and Terrence Howard said he doesn't know why Jussie did this, because me and Miss Parker, we were on the phone Friday when they were releasing they had the play-by-play of everything he had done relating to this case, Jussie. And so we were like, wow, they really did their research, their information. So Terrence Howard, he was recorded saying that he doesn't know why Jussie did this. He said that he heard that Taraji told him that he had a history of lying to authorities. If you remember, back in 2007, he got arrested or got pulled over on suspicion of DUI, and he gave his brother's name. And so he said,
"Oh wow!"
He said, "I don't know if he was drinking when he decided to hire the darkest guys he could find as white Trump supporters to attack him." But that came out last week. But then over the weekend, Terrence Howard posted a video of Jussie playing with Terrence's baby son, and said, "We love you" or whatever. So
I think that's misleading. So the hairlines on that been parent support Jussie. I get so annoyed. Mm-hmm. You can love someone, think they're doing wrong, because I do that all the time with my friends. Like, I'm not supporting that action. I don't support that behavior, but I love you.
Yeah.
That doesn't change. I do it with my own family. So he loves him as a brother. That's not going to change, but that doesn't mean that he supports all the foolishness that's going on. Mm-hmm. And so the media is spinning it, especially for the black agenda, who doesn't want any black person to ever be guilty of anything.
Right.
That somehow Terrence believes him and somehow fully support him, when Terrence already said that he doesn't believe him and he didn't know why he did it. There's a lot of things that happens in our lives with friends and family members, and we're like, that was messed up. But that don't stop us from loving them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's very true.
And
very
so,
true.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous the way it's being spun. I'm just like, so what? That's his family. Yeah, he's probably upset, and he probably has some conversations with them, but that's family.
Yeah.
You're not going to just say, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And the thing, also, one thing they revealed when the woman at the press conference, that Jussie used to buy drugs from one of the brothers. And so reportedly Jussie over the weekend was telling everyone that he has a untreated drug problem. I don't know if that's supposed to help, with this case. I don't know. What are you about to say, Chica?
I was gonna say that, like, I'm really sick of this new little trend that's going on now with our black entertainers that happen to be male are being eviscerated right before our eyes. Like their whole lives are crumbling. Like and not saying that they didn't help bring it upon themselves, but I'm just sick of this trend. We have to do better. We have to do better than this.
We do. Yeah.
This is horrible.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue to follow that story. Next subject. So, the 91st Academy Awards were yesterday. We're not going to talk much about it because Chika and Adam will talk about it in movie reviews. But Spike Lee apparently was pissed off that Green Book was announced for Best Picture. So apparently once it was announced, this is according to Pete Hammond from Deadline. Once it was announced, Spike Lee got out of his chair and stormed to the back. Then he came back to his seat, sat down, and he turned around and talked to Jordan Peele, who's also a filmmaker. And, I guess you see they have like a heated, intense conversation. Well, afterwards, he went to where they do the interviews for the winners and people who won. And he was saying that, pretty much said, every time someone is driving someone, I lose. So he's referring to back in 1989 when he had the movie Do the Right Thing, and Driving Miss Daisy won for Best Picture, and he wasn't even nominated. He said that they asked him how does he feel about the other movie winning. He said, I'm snake bit. Every time somebody's driving somebody, I lose. But they changed the seating arrangement. And then he said he feels like he was like at the Madison Square Garden and a ref made a bad call when he lost the Best Picture award. But he did win. He did win his first Oscar in 30 years, ever for him last night. What are your thoughts?
Spike Lee is a Pisces, so we tend to be a bit overly emotional at times and super passionate about what we believe and a bit aggressive in our way of expressing it. So I get where he's coming from, but I think that it's mindful to be a bit tactful sometimes. I think when you're in that space of emotion, that is hard to remember to be tactful, but I think it would have been nice if he did that. He's just not his personality. I know he's a passionate person. He's super
outgoing. It's outspoken.
No, it's just passion. It's just passion. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say outgoing. He speaks against a lot of things and he doesn't care. Yeah. I tend to be that way at times. So I'm never going to knock anyone for that because that's how I am too. When I believe in something, I'm overly passionate about it. But I am also mindful of where and when to display that passion. And I think he just need to bring it down a little bit more, because I think it's just been years of frustration of his work not being recognized, and not only his work, but good work from people of color not being recognized. So all these years, I think it's just pent up aggression. Not excusing it, but I would have expressed. I think what he said in the press conference was completely okay, because that was the format, right? That was the platform to say that. But during the time where people are on stage getting their awards, because now you're hurting individual people and not the Academy. You're hurting people who put in their own hard work, who believe in their own work, who sweat and tears and value their own work. And so now you're hurting individual people that you have nothing against individually. Your statement is against the Academy, against the organization. So doing that to the people while they're on stage is a personal thing, and I don't think that was called for.
Okay. Well said. Chike?
I was wondering why they let him in the building. They knew he was going to do something. I was looking for it, actually. I was like, oh, Spike's in the building? They even went as far as to nominate him? What's going to happen now? And I was hoping that he won, right? Because I knew that his speech was going to be something, because that's Spike Lee.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised. I knew he was going to do something.
Yeah. He gave a great speech.
It's him.
He gave a great speech for the award he did win. I will say that I agree with Ms. Parker that he shouldn't. I don't think that was the platform to say that, because I'll give you Glenn Close for example. She's been nominated for Best Actress Award for 7 times and did not win. She's won this award season. She's won it in every other award, and so they were expecting her to win it last night, and she lost. And so, but she was gracious about it, even to the person that won. And I think it's all right to feel how you feel, but your public, response, I think, should be a little bit more, should be graceful, I think.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that it was okay for him to be himself, because that's him. I think where the problem lies is that when they were on stage accepting their awards, when they were going up there, that wasn't the place in time, and that's why they didn't show it. People told the press about it, but it didn't show it because it wasn't tactful. It was just rude.
But my thing is,
your problem is not against
right.
people. Those
that won.
That you don't have any issues with. You have an issue with the Academy.
Right.
So when you went on stage, when you went and did your interview, what you said, that's your platform. Let it be known that you didn't agree with it, and let all that frustration out there. That's a platform. And that way, the people who have worked just as hard as you, or whatever, putting their blood, sweat, and tears to make their movie, and they won, no matter how you feel about it, yeah, it may not have been the best movie. We all may not agree. But you're making it too personal to those people, and that's disrespectful to me.
And the fact you won one. You won your first Oscar last night. You know what I mean? It's not like you went home empty-handed. I don't know. But let's take a quick break, come back, find out why Kamala Harris, she's running for president, why her father is speaking out against her. Right back when we come back.
Knowing that you were gone. this end. Oh, oh, oh.
Chess move, NWA, go get it attitude. Have to do it big, big as Ice Cube, man. I done paid due. It's time for get back. I'm here to collect where the cheese at. Purchase selling dreams, dog. You can keep that. Cause when my stomach growling, I can't need that. Know where I'm from, all that talking won't cut it. With all that funny shit, you might as well be a muppet. We ain't on the same page, we ain't in the same subject. Cause I be like God, family, hustle, everything else. Money on my mind like a 5950. So I on my grind like it rich or die 50. I pay you no mind if it's none of my business. Cause I spend all my time telling my business. That money on my mind like a 5950. So I on my grind like it rich or die 50. I pay you no mind if it's none of my business. Cause I spend all my time telling my business, my business, my business. Chasing down these zero runner, got me losing sleep. Runners, all I know is get it. Ain't give none to me. Running, moving like a ninja. Let the hustle speak. Can I put money on it? You wanna hustle, man? Swimming in this water, ayy. Where it's too deep, ayy. Where it's too real, dawg. This ain't no movie. I wouldn't let nothing knock me on my 2 feet. I'm out to get my own piece of pie, get me a goofy. Ouch, ain't giving handouts. So I stay hands on and let my grind stand out. Everywhere looking like I'm about to pull a band out. Clean, got the gal crusher, wanna throw they man out. You know they love a hustler. Love it when you're smoking like a muffler. I came into this game for the juggler, and I ain't cutting up. Money on my mind like a 5950. So I on my grind like it rich or die 50. I pay you no mind if it's none of my business. Cause I spend all my time handling my business. That money on my mind like a 5950. So I on my grind like it rich or die 50. I pay you no mind if it's none of my business. Cause I spend all my time handling my business, my business, my business.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's your main man, Chingy representing. And right now I'm hanging out with my folks, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show right here, right there, however you want to do it. Let's go.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Want to remind you, all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. You can also check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and all that. All right. So hate crimes are on the rise in America. That's no surprise to anyone, but especially in New York City. So apparently, Brooklyn councilman, he was riding by a playground and saw that a swastika was drawn on the playground. He tweeted, "So are swastikas on playgrounds the new normal?" So now they are. He's trying to create a bill. He's reaching out to Mayor de Blasio to reach out a bill to create a hate crime prevention office and draft a bill that would require all 5 district attorneys to report the motive of each hate crime. He's also planning a citywide rally involving teens speaking out about intolerance. He says, we have people who come from 150 different countries, and we need a better understanding of each other's culture. A lot more needs to be done. This is about teaching kids to respect each other. What do you think about the rise of hate crimes?
Oh Lord. I mean, obviously, I think that's just the days and times that we're in because of who's in office.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all I can say to that. It's too draining for me to even go beyond that. That conversation required an entire show was to do a platform and a panel that really addresses that. That can't be a footnote conversation for me. Yeah. So my Spike Lee is kicking in, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay. Go ahead, Chica.
I honestly think it's a combination of things. Yes, it's the temperature of where we are right now, especially with this leadership that we have. But we have been leading toward this for a while because it's been like a pot that's been bubbling, and now it's like to a boil. With the whole onset of how we are using social media, yes, we are more connected than we ever have been before, but it's also very polarizing.
Yeah.
People recluse within themselves to do, that activity. They're not really socializing. I've watched people at parties all on their phone and not really enjoying each other.
Yeah.
And that mixed with people telling you, a director from Mount on High telling you how to feel about things and how you should be, and this is what's going on, what isn't really going on, and telling you these things, making you feel a certain way. So it's being bolstered. And it's being fed, that negativity. With us not really in touch with each other, it's compounded.
That's true. Yeah, I think what this councilman is trying to do is important because there are so many different, especially in a city like New York, with so many different, it's a melting pot. So many different backgrounds, they come together, they're living together, and you have to be able to understand people's culture so you know what offends this person, what wouldn't offend this person, and so that we're more mindful of what we're saying and what we're doing, what we're putting out, and understanding people's history and their background. That's why Black History Month is so important because we weren't taught that some of these things in school. So we know why certain things are offensive, why blackface is offensive and things like that. I think it's important to have those conversations. So kudos to that councilman for trying to get this conversation started, in a bigger way. Well, Democratic President nominee Kamala Harris, she was on the Breakfast Club a few weeks ago, and they asked her if she had smoked weed before. She said yes. She said, and I inhaled, unlike Bill Clinton. And she said half of her family is from Jamaica. Are you kidding me? So her father did not like that. He did an interview, and he said, my dearest departed grandmothers, whose extraordinary legacy I describe in a recent essay on my website, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see my family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of pot smoking, joy seeker, and in the pursuit of identifying politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. Do you think he's being dramatic, or do you feel where he's coming from?
Yeah, I think he's being dramatic. I think it be your own family sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a whole lot of beef against a lot of the stuff that I've seen posted against her and the guy from Jersey. What's his name? Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker, yeah.
Because I feel like we don't have the same measuring stick that we have for white candidates as we have our own. I've seen a list of reasons why black people hate Cory and Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not seen anything with any of the white candidates that have come out. It's really sad. I think we just have a culture of not knowing how to support our own. And I'm not saying, and we support the wrong people. R. Kelly probably got more people supporting him than Cory Booker does.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it feels like the only way you can get support in the black community is if you are on the side of where people think you're being victimized by the government or by law enforcement. If they feel like somehow you're being victimized through racism, then they want to have your back. But if you are somehow trying to do anything good, people even have bad things to say. When what's his name? Clinton, the guy was kneeling.
Oh, Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm. Kaepernick. I just went blank for a second.
Yeah. When
Kaepernick won his case against the NFL, how can that possibly be a bad thing? Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's just along the same lines of not knowing how to support or how to not support, but be silent about it. I think if that's your daughter and she's an African American woman running for president, you should be so proud of her.
Yeah.
That even that should be a private conversation.
I agree.
But publicly, you let everybody know how much you are proud of her, how much her being in the running and being in the so far she's leading in the Democratic Party.
Yep.
All of those things that you could point it out that are good about her. You chose not to speak on those things. You chose to speak on this. When it could have been a private conversation, it's unfortunate. And I think it's just an example of just a lot of healing that we have to do in our community and within our own families. That we can't. I mean, if Trump's entire family can support him, and the ones that didn't like him, his daughter who has spoken to him 10 years, she came and did a speech when he was running.
Yeah.
And he hadn't talked to her, and he called her ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if they can come together and do that for their father, whether or not they believe in him or not, her father could have said something better about her than that.
Yeah. Chica?
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, even if that was your real, true feeling deep in your heart, your daughter's trying to be the president of the United States. Put on the face.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
I totally agree. I agree that this is where he's supposed to support her and speak of all the great things about her. And if you are offended by something she said, then you, like again, Ms. Parker said, have a private conversation with her and say that's not cool. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I totally agree with
and
that.
Even furthermore, please don't put the cameras in front of my face anymore because you're going to make me lie. That's not how I really feel.
Right.
Respect it.
Exactly, yeah. All right, well, R. Kelly, he pled not guilty to 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. The disgraced singer appeared in Cook County Court Monday to answer charges that abused teen girls for years. After spending the weekend behind bars, he struggled to come up with a $100,000 bail. His lawyer pled not guilty on his behalf, and after the hearing, Greenberry insisted his client was innocent and a rock star who didn't need to have non-consensual sex. Now, if he's convicted, he will probably spend the rest of his life in jail. R. Kelly's plea comes as lawyer Michael Avenatti tweeted that he planned to hand over another graphic video of Kelly allegedly sexually abusing an underage girl. He's due back in court next month, owing $161,663 to his ex-wife Andrea in an unrelated child support case. Ms. Parker, what are your thoughts on R. Kelly finally being arrested for this?
Glad he can't afford to get out, and hopefully he stays there. Hopefully they throw the keys, lock him up, throw the keys away, and he is where he belongs.
Mm-hmm. Chica?
This is it. This is it for him. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the end.
Yeah.
And like I said before when we talked about this before, it's very systematic in how it was done. If you pay attention, because they couldn't get OJ on the murder, they systematically shut his life down to the point where they broke him. They basically did the same thing to R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. Shut his life down. Now they have you.
Yeah.
Good night.
So I was having a conversation with somebody and they were saying they feel sorry for him. And I said, I don't feel sorry for him. I do, I pray for him as a person because that's what my faith church is supposed to do. But the fact that he was so arrogant and how he handled this. Even after the documentary Surviving R. Kelly came out, he was at his birthday party flaunting. He was caught on video saying, they're trying to come after me now. They should have done this 30 years ago. It's too late. I mean, stuff like that. It's just the arrogance about him.
So what I was going to say, if he's been on this earth and he's paid attention to Bill Cosby, the initial what happened with Bill, the statute had ran out. Mm-hmm. And those lawyers ran around to change the laws so they could get him.
Yeah.
They fixed it so the statute of limitation would, stretch out. Why would he think that he was anything different? They were annexing you, bruh. They got you.
That's the arrogancy, his arrogant personality. You know what I mean? But yeah. Well,
and someone actually said that they feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
And this is the funny thing. I pretty much look at everything as a movie because I'm a movie dude. And you know how there's a villain in a movie and they've been doing heinous things through the whole movie, and you just know somewhere near the end you're going to die a horrible death. Your end is not going to be really, really nice.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about R. Kelly. He's pillaged and raped for years.
Well,
why I feel sorry for him.
Some of his female fans were raising money to bail him out of jail. Ridiculous.
They need to also talk to Ayanna about the problem he has.
Exactly. All right, well, our last story, Robert Kraft, he is the owner of the New England Patriots. He is being indicted. Everyone knows the story that he was caught up in a sex ring, pretty much. And the way that they had a sting operation going on in the spa. It was an Asian spa, and they had video cameras with high-quality audio. So apparently he went there 2 days back-to-back on January 19th and January 20th. And then he flew out to Kansas City to go to the game. So they put out some of the details of his visit there. So on January 19th, the police alleged that they had footage of Kraft engaging in threesome. Now he's 70 years old, by the way. Threesome with two women who took turns manipulating his genitals. Apparently, the threesome didn't satisfy Kraft's sexual feelings because the very next day, the same day that the Patriots played Kansas City Chiefs, he went back to the spa. So, the employee escorted him to a room identified as JPPD on Cam 2. There, the two hugged each other, and Kraft took off his clothing and laid face up on the massage table. The employee hugged him again at approximately, it has the hours, I don't care about that. The employee began manipulating his penis and testicles and then put her head down by his penis. This went on several times. After a few times, the employee wiped Kraft in the area of his genitals with the white towel and helped him get dressed and hugged him again. Kraft gave the employee a $100 bill plus at least one other, they couldn't identify the other bill. Let's go. So officials say that Kraft was only there at the Asian massage parlor for 14 minutes on the 20th, and exited to a waiting 215 blue Bentley. After the relief, he flew to Kansas to attend his team's game. Authorities say the women who run it, this was important. Authorities say that the women who run the spa and several like it in the area have been human trafficking the most Chinese women and forcing them into sex slavery. The maximum punishment that he could get for this misdemeanor, Kraft would get, would be a year in prison and 100 hours of community service. Do you think a year in prison and 100 hours of community service, do you think that's fair?
No, I think there's a lot of issues here. I think for the number one issue is that I think there's a misunderstanding with men about sexual assault, sex jobs, sex workers, what's legal, what's not legal, a sense of ownership towards women's body. I think there's just a load of issues here. But I think that from what I've been seeing on social media and people posting jokes about, what he's done, it's just a shame. It just shows me that the only way that the issue with sex trafficking, sexual assault, sex slavery, all the things would end is that when men start taking these issues seriously. Because these women are being forced to work 15 hours, a lot of them are underage. They were enslaved in their countries and brought here to pay off debts, kind of like how slavery was indentured servants. But they're paying debts that working on the fields. They're paying their debts by performing sexual acts all day long and not getting anything for it, and the debts are never paid off. This is damaging to not only the women but to their future children. It's a generational trauma that passes on for years. It damages people deeply. Sexual assault, sexual enslavement is is a horrific crime, and anyone who takes part in it should be prosecuted. And no, a year is not enough.
Yeah.
But I think education too is the number one thing that needs to happen. I think that men need to take responsibility for the fact that they're the number one customers, right? So the only reason sex trafficking exists is because they purchased it. So when they start taking responsibility for that, I think, and taking it seriously, and not just saying, oh, well, the woman wants to sell herself, she can sell herself, because that's not what's happening. I think that there are places where they can get legal prostitution, then to go ahead and do that. Where it's regulated, where the women are clean, the women are checked for their age, STDs, and why don't you just go there?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why would you not go somewhere that you know, just for your own morals and your own well-being, also that it's a safe transaction? Because I do think that women should be able to decide they want to sell their body or not.
Right.
It's not what happens. 80% of people who are selling their bodies are not doing it on their own will, by their own will.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really sad to me. And the more I see people post about it, make jokes about it, the sadder I am, because those very men have daughters, they have wives and mothers, and so it impacts us all. And it needs to be taken seriously.
I totally agree. Chike?
So I'm more upset at the fact that it stopped kind of sort of with him. I guess because he is the billionaire, he's the more popular one. But something kind of tells me that this was, again, he was targeted. Because I'm sure he's been doing this for a while. Like, he knew exactly where to go and what to do. So he's been doing this for a while. Why wouldn't they use that leverage that they have with this man who is now probably the most vulnerable as he could possibly be,
right,
and use him to blow a hole in the whole operation instead of just focus on him? Yeah. Because if you truly are in law enforcement and the whole thing is illegal, not just him, you're gonna use him as bait, like they're doing in the whole Trump investigation. They're making the people turn over tapes. Mm-hmm. Make him talk. Well, figure out the whole shebang.
From what I've heard, the women who own the operation are being investigated too.
Yeah.
Because that's how they found out that these were bringing people from China. But not only that, it's a bigger issue, right? So they're not only a part of a situation where these women own these massage parlors, but it's almost like a crime, like a mafia crime, like a ring or something. There are men who are abducting these girls in China, enslaving them there, and then giving them to the women, finding a way to get them here to those women. So it's like an international crime.
No, it is.
It
is.
Where girls are being kidnapped from their homes. Or lured into modeling jobs out there, or they're preying on poor people. So I can get you a job. I can get your daughter a job in this other city, and the parents like, oh, okay, well, she's 18 or whatever, or she's 17. Maybe she can go work in the next city over. She's old enough, and they're kidnapping these women, these young girls. So it's an international crime. It's a lot. It's so complicated, and it's really sad. Really sad.
It is really sad. It is really sad. We've had people, advocates for sex trafficking on the show before, so some of the statistics are, you would be surprised of how prevalent it is. But, these high-powered men, they will use them to make an example of them. That's how the story's told. You know what I mean? They know his name. And so that's what's going to draw the headline to hopefully end all this from happening. But listen, Chike, Miss Parker, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Definitely appreciate you. Chike, I'll see you in movie reviews. Miss Parker,
One more thing before we go, Stephen. One more thing. I want to shout out one of our listeners, Mr. Anthony the Great. Thanks for retweeting and reposting and, sticking behind the Stephen Knight Show and listening to us faithfully. We appreciate that.
Most definitely. Thank you, Anthony. We definitely appreciate you. When we come back, our interview with Chingy, right back after this.
you tell me where and when did we go so wrong? If you notice, and I don't wanna pretend like we don't have a problem. We just can't move on like this. I know that it's not fair and maybe a little unclear, but I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. I just don't trust you. 'Cause I can't trust you. I just can't trust you. I just can't trust you. Maybe it's that thing you did, and I thought I was over it. Guess I'm not that strong. Did you notice? So lately I've been thinking that we should throw the towel in. We've held on too long like this. I know that it's not fair and maybe a little unclear, but I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. I just don't trust you. 'Cause I can't trust you. I just can't trust you. I just can't trust you. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. I know that it's not fair and maybe a little unclear, but I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. I just don't trust you. 'Cause I can't trust you. I just can't trust you. I just can't trust you.
Robot there for the rhythm again. So we taking over. One time.
That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking. Man get never suffer, suffer, man get never suffer, suffer. I'm relying on the waiting, but I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing, but the trooper she jacking. I said the trooper she waiting, she checking, she looking like she not know what they are talking. I told her that trouble she causing, the way that she rocking and shaking her to my Onina Fatumata, put it on me like she from Kakata. All the men is scatter, now Benny, I want in a chocolate. When you tie your lapa and you wear your skin test, when you rocking your tuma, That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking. Forget never suffer, eh. Suffer, eh. Forget never suffer, eh. Suffer, eh. I'm relying on the waiting. Man, I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking.
One play you non-see funk, get capping. Like I said before, hungry line blocking. You leave it, another scamming with bop it. Grab it, squeeze it with dry face. That the time you will be trying how to catch it. You know you're missing the casa bete. You fix it, 05 joint how to catch it. Then you want speed series now till they get. Pretty girl, let me take you out of dinner. I got a cheddar, forgive me, I was a sinner. Gonna be better from January down to December. Take trips, go to spots even in the winter. So sexy, gorgeous and beautiful. Everything that we do is so memorable. I'm feeling you from your head down to your toes. Don't have to speak on it, I'm gonna show. I'm relying on the waiting. But I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking. Forget never suffer, eh. Suffer, eh. Forget never suffer, eh. Suffer, eh. I'm relying on the waiting. But I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking.
Anytime she walking, the boy them be watching. Anytime she walking, the boy them be jaking. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you temptation. Anytime you turn girl, you confusion. Baby girl, you blow my mind away. Anytime you turn like way, girl, you make me wanting you tonight. Forget, never, you never suffer. Forget never suffer. I'm relying on the waiting. But I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking. Forget never suffer. Forget never suffer. I'm relying on the waiting. But I'm in the setting. That's the nigga they chasing. But the jupa she jacking.
This is Monique Samuels of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to The Stephen Knight Show. Our guest tonight is well known for his hits Right There, Holiday Inn, One Call Away, and that's just to name a few. Next month, he kicks off the Millennium Tour with acts such as B2K, Mario, Pretty Ricky, and Lloyd. Please help me welcome multi-platinum international artist Chingy. Welcome to the show.
What's up?
Appreciate you joining us. I know you're getting ready for tour, man. How's it feel to be getting back out there like that?
What'd you say?
How's it feel getting back out there?
Well, I've always been touring.
Yeah.
I've always been on the road. I had a tour of my own that hit a lot of cities last year, and I'm always doing slot dates. I'm always on the road. So,
okay. Yeah.
To be on this tour, it's a great thing. We got a lot of great acts on there, man, and it's gonna be fun. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope the people looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great show.
Most definitely. My co-host, Ms. Parker, she said that you all follow each other. She said, "Tell them, give me some free tickets." I told her, But anyway, let's talk about, you're from St. Louis. Everybody know that. How was it growing up there, and how did that kind of influence your sound and your music?
How was it growing up in St. Louis, and how did it influence my sound and music? Well, I come from the north side of St. Louis, Walnut Park, which is, of course, like any hood. It's a ghetto. It's poverty, drugs, guns, gangs, all of that. And so growing up, on both sides of my family, dealing with in the streets and stuff like that. And you're a teenager. When you're growing up, you get caught up in that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Being that that's where you come from. But I always had music as a way out of everything, because that was a way for me to express myself in another way. And so I just kind of stuck with that. But, coming from the inner city, coming from where I come from, the ghetto period, it teaches you to have street smart.
Right. Yeah.
How it teach you how to maneuver in the streets. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff. The streets can be like a combat field at times. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say where I'm from. You know, you got gangs warring on the other street with the street I live on, and it's warring on the next street. Then you got a couple streets down, is into it with them. It be a lot going on, man. So it just taught me to be aware, stay aware of my surroundings, always focus, and to actually want something in life, because you don't want to have to deal with stuff like that all your life. It becomes this thing, and you got a lot of people. And when I say this, don't take it the wrong way, but I come from that place. I'm not always proud to say that, because it's a lot of so-called black on black crime.
Right.
And all we know in the shit in them hoods, man, is killing each other and drugs, and you know what I'm saying. I ain't taking nothing away from nobody or saying nothing bad about nobody, but the way we glorify that place, we have to change that narrative, because you know I'm proud where I come from, but the conditions was horrible.
Yeah.
But it influenced my music in a way to provide a way for me to try to make it out of that and, you know, see something better.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense because of what you saw every day that made you want something more for yourself. So yeah. I get that. So your first performance, you were 12 years old, and then you went by a Slicks O. That was your name.
It was Slickso. My brother gave me the name Slickso because, you know, back then I was like a battle rapper.
Right.
And
yeah.
so I would perform against people, and I would kind of shut them up. And so he called me Slickso, the slicker, thicker lip zipper. It was a long name. Yeah. It was a long name.
Okay.
So, that's because I was kind of slick with my flow.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's where that comes from. And yeah, I did. My first show was when I was 12, 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was in a group, but we came in first place a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So, even out of like dancers, singers, DJs, a lot of stuff, man. We came in first a lot, being with having all those
different acts. Yeah. Because you would think usually it's like the singer that usually wins it all, but you all were winning it back then, huh?
Yeah. We came first a lot, man. We was talented at a young age.
So when made you decide to be a solo performer?
I realized I was in two groups, and being in groups, everybody got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Or, you know, things cannot work out so well. And each of the guys that was in my group are friends of mine that still are.
Right.
But I always wanted it more. At the end of the day, I always wanted it more. So soon as I got out of the group, that's when I made it. I mean, like, soon as I got out of the group, that's when things started happening for me.
Wow. And I know, and was the first big thing, would you say, was that touring for Nelly, opening for Nelly? Was that the first
big thing?
Yeah.
Well, that was, now keep in mind, I've always been traveling around the world.
Right.
Around the state performing. I was always on the grind.
Okay.
I performed in front of thousands of people, just being on the grind, doing what I do and having different connections. But that was huge as well.
Okay.
Opening those shows for Nelly, that definitely imparted on my career and, you know, and everything, because that was huge. That was great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the first big thing. I've opened for Outkast. I've opened for a lot of people, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Before I became Chingy, and so, you know, that's something that a lot of people don't know about me. I didn't just come out of nowhere. I wasn't just this success that was found to start rapping a year before.
Right.
Like, I've been doing this since the '80s.
Okay.
Like, and I've been serious about it since then.
Okay.
And I've been traveling. I've been in and out of town when you had to go out of town to try to make it, to try to be heard. You had to go to these different places. You didn't get on your phone and press the button.
Yep.
And everybody can see you and hear you.
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing this all my life.
Do you think that's a big misconception that people they don't know that about you? They just know that you came out with the first big single in 2002 and that's it. So what was some of the grind? Can you tell us some of the grind between that first performance at 12 until you getting up to where you get signed?
Well, I had came out with local CDs.
Okay.
Getting songs on the radio.
Okay.
Like I said, opening up for different people. The grind just didn't stop.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? I continued doing music until I got my record deal. Like I always was at it.
Okay. Yeah.
It was solo. I always was at it, and so those events just they kept elevating and led to one thing, and then I got with the producer's Track Star, who was behind the album Jackpot and Right There in 2002.
Right.
And
yeah.
So we started working on music, and man, everything just started falling in place.
Wow. So do you think artists now, because, there's social media and there's, like you said, it's easier to be accessible. Do you think they have it a little easier now than they did back when you were, coming up?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So you get signed in 2002, released right there. That song stays on Billboard charts for 33 weeks. How did your life change?
Well, how my life changed was, I'm on the road, I'm performing, people knowing who I am, people knowing my music, success is coming, things are just growing. I was selling like 90,000 records a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so, of course my life started changing. Things like I started becoming this celebrity figure.
Yep.
Accumulate money, and things start getting better, but things also start getting hectic.
How so?
Because with more money, more problems.
Right, exactly.
Everybody want a piece of you. Everybody want to take from you. So it get tough just as well as it get good.
Right. And you were only 22 at that time. So do you think you were prepared for it, or do you think you were most as prepared as you could be?
I definitely wasn't prepared for that.
Okay.
I would have to say I wasn't really prepared for the industry business part. I just knew about the music. I just knew about what I love to do, performing, music, videos. I knew about the fun aspect of that. I didn't know about the business. I didn't know about the paparazzi, the rumors.
Yeah.
The ignorant stuff that comes with it. I wasn't here.
Yeah. Well, I know, your debut album Jackpot came out then next year, even more hits. I mean, how did fame change you, if at all? I know you said, of course, there's a learning curve with the business and everything, but how did it change you as a person?
I've always been a humble, laid-back dude, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
It didn't necessarily change me. It just it showed me what was authentic and what was fake.
Yeah.
It showed me fiction and nonfiction.
Right.
It showed me people that was around for the ups, and it showed me the people that stayed around through the ups and downs. It showed me a lot of stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. I interview a lot of artists and celebrities, and after comes a point in their career where they kind of get a little burnt out. I know, after your fourth studio album, you kind of fell back a little bit and went the indie route, and you worked on film and TV roles. Were you burnt out at that point, or what was going on with you then?
I mean, the business can definitely can burn you out. You can get tired of dealing with this fakeness. It could be a lot of fakeness.
Yep.
And you can get tired of dealing with fake people, fake artists. You can get tired of dealing with fake execs. You can get tired of, even sometimes fans can be obnoxious.
Yep.
And, and then just trying to be creative through it all can be difficult.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes, because a lot of folks don't understand, you're just a being just like them.
Exactly.
You just chose a different profession.
Right.
But don't make me no different than nobody else. So sometimes, as an artist, when when I'm out or when other people are out and you're a celebrity, I go through stuff too.
Yeah.
So don't mean I'm being rude if I'm on the go and I happen to can't take a picture at the time or do something like that at the time. Don't make me less of a man. Don't make me less of an artist or less of a celebrity. It's just you never know what's on my mind. You never
Exactly.
know what's bothering.
Yeah.
I might have just lost somebody or just anything. And sometimes, I think people get that misconstrued. And so they got to realize that, artists are just beings who chose a different profession than they did, but we are the same.
Exactly. Well, like you said, you've been putting out mixtapes, you've been performing and doing your thing, but now you're working on a new studio project entitled Frequency C. What can we expect on that project?
No, it's not titled Frequency C. It's titled Frequency.
Oh, Frequency. Let's get that right. Frequency.
Yeah,
okay.
That's just the way. That's the way I spell it.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
It still said frequency.
Okay.
I just took the Y off and capitalized the C because it has to do with Chingy.
Got you.
And I chose that because right now I'm just in my life period, I'm on a different wave mentally, spiritually, physically, and everything. And so I titled it Frequency because of that. And it still has to do with Chingy.
Yeah.
And that's why the C is capitalized at the end.
Got you. And I read that fans you're gonna give them what they love about you, but you be a little bit more deeper. Do you think that becomes just from your experiences and being a grown man now?
Well, of course, everything's come from experience, but it's gonna be pretty fun.
Okay, good.
As well, it's not just gonna be super deep. It's gonna be fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the standards of what they like to hear today.
Okay, got you.
It's still gonna be me, but it's gonna be modern to what they like to hear today.
Okay, yeah. I was just on your Instagram, and I saw a video where you responded to the Shade Room. How do you deal with the blogs and with social media? They are crazy. But how do you deal with that as an artist? Do you think it's good when they're talking about you? Not going too hard, but what do you think?
I mean, all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
In the business I'm in,
right?
People gonna say stupid stuff,
right?
And you just, especially when it's not true, you just gotta pay it no mind. But sometimes you just gotta say something to let people know as well.
Right.
Some people be like, "Oh, don't trip off that. I wouldn't even respond." But sometimes you have to respond to let people know the truth.
Exactly.
Because people just say stuff and they just put stuff out there because they ain't got nothing else to do. They looking for attention.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for attention.
Right.
They trying to get known. They trying to get their site known. They trying to get known, and you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to do all that. I'm just trying to do music and be me and love what I do. And we they conversation.
Exactly.
They conversation. So they always gonna post stupid stuff and have something to say, but and a lot of the times you don't see a lot of them posting the good
right.
stuff.
They do right
because it's just like a positive and negative charge.
Right.
These things attract. So negative attracts negative.
Yeah,
positive attracts. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it go, man. But I understand the polarity of life, and when I say I understand the polarity of life, I get that it's an up or down, that it's a left or right, that it's a like and a dislike. I embrace that.
Yeah.
So if somebody don't like me, I don't say, "Oh, forget you. I hate you. I don't care. You make me sick." No,
right.
that's on them.
Exactly.
That's on them. They don't like me.
Exactly.
That don't mean I'm a bad. That don't mean I'm a bad influence. That don't mean I'm a bad being or anything. That's the way they see me, and it don't mean that that's the correct way.
Right. Yep.
So I can care less. I keep it moving, man. I ain't got time for all that ignorance.
Yeah, I hear that 100%. What do you think the biggest thing that you've learned from the early part of your career to today? What is the biggest thing you've learned just as a person, as a man?
The biggest thing I learned to the early part of my career, always make sure you're involved in. If it got something to do with you, business-wise, anything, make sure you're involved and overlook stuff and have the proper team around you.
Yeah, that's big.
The proper team around you, and you know, surround yourself with positive people that wants to see you prevail, but also that are prevailing themselves.
Exactly.
Progressing themselves. That you're not just the only one who has this or that or money or this, that. Everybody in your circle should be comfortable to the extent to where nobody really has to lean on the other person too hard.
Right.
Because that then can become a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know what I'm saying? And so just make sure your circle tight, make sure your business correct, and have a small circle, but put people in place that know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And that has the expertise for the job site.
Exactly. That's well said. Well said. I was just watching the show and they were talking about knowing that you can't do it all yourself, but being able to select the people that can do their part and make it all come together. So that's very yeah. So when can we expect new music from you?
Well, I still got new music out there.
Okay.
I got a song called On Go that's produced by me. Produced by me. That's a great record. You can go get it on iTunes. You can go on Chingy.co, check it out. It's doing pretty good, and you can stream it. It's called On Go. I got a record that's called That Good that I'm about to release with Bobby Valentino.
Oh, nice.
A homeboy of mine and a homeboy that co-produced it with me named Fresco Kane. That's about to come out as a joint for the ladies. It's a real dope joint.
All right.
I'm about to release that in a minute. So, man, I've been releasing music. I got a song called Sparks Fly released that I produced last year. So all of this music is fresh and all of this music is new. So you just got to stream it. Go check it out. Like I said, go to Chingy.co, not com, .co. Follow me on Instagram, at Chingy. And yeah, man. Like I said, I've still been making music. I've still been around. I haven't went nowhere. It's just I'm independent.
Right.
People tend to think when you independent, you fell off the face of the earth because you no longer have the major
backing,
major label contract and all that.
Yeah.
You know.
But a lot of major artists, like Prince was independent. You know, when up to the day he passed, you know, a lot of artists have gone independent because they have that creative control. You know what I mean? They can do what they want to do. But before I let you go, let's talk about the Millennium Tour. We talked about it a little earlier on, but how did the tour come together? I mean, we got some great acts come in this B2K, Mario, yourself. How did it come together?
Actually, how that tour came together, I don't really know exactly how it came together, but a friend of mine got in touch with me instead of somebody he knew was trying to get in touch with me about getting me on this tour.
Okay.
And they got in touch with me, and I talked to the dude, and it so happens to be this tour. So they were looking to get me on this tour.
Oh, okay,
They were trying to contact me to get me on this tour, and so that's kind of how I got on it.
That's dope.
I don't know how it came about, if it was stemmed around B2K getting back together, and they wanted some acts to, you know, help out with the whole tour, which I think may have be the way it came together. But I ain't sure, but that's how I got on.
Yeah. Well, I know we can't wait. It kicks off early March. I know you're rehearsing, you're doing your thing, but like you said, you never stop. So it's gonna be a great show.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be a great show, and I'm looking forward to it.
Most definitely. Tell us real quick one more time the best way to keep up with everything you have going on.
Best way to keep up with me, man, is Chingy.co is my site. You can go on there, check it out, go get you a Bear shirt before the concert so you can be representing or check out some new music. Also, you can hit me up on Instagram at Chingy, hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, and that's how you pretty much contact me.
All right. Well, Chingy, man, I appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule. Wish you nothing but success on Frequency, the tour, and everything else you got coming up. And, yeah, thank you.
It.
All right.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, my brother.
All right. We'll right back after this.
Ooh, jackpot.
Cut the tail off the snake. Clip it. What does it take for a new to be great, huh? A couple M's and a house on the lake.
If that's the case, I've been great, you just late, huh? She say I got good taste, cause I'm fat with a little waist. So she wanna take me on a little chase. Capture that poop, beat it up, then escape, huh? Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Sold millions, old millions. You bitter, yo feelings, old feelings. Middle finger, boy. Gossiping like ho, I should call them gold diggers, huh? Just like ho. Cut the check, cut it. I don't want nothing from you, but the check, huh? Respect, cause any given time, turn for the check, huh? Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Rolly, call some stacks. Holy moly, I am back. That's a Tesla, not a act. 80s baby, I was born dope. Whip it up, make a dub pack. Bought a lack, fixed it up on dubs now. Ho, checking for me, checking for me. Got the clout 9, tell them wait a second for me. Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? Took a loss, cause of took a loss. Having in a business. Stay out. Soon turn a witness. 40 cal, now you running. Boy, fitness. Drop 800 on some Louis. Yeah, drop 900 on some Gucci. Whoa, drop 2 G's on some Gucci. Strawberry poop, I call her mama smoothie. Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh? He got my name in his mouth, take it out. She got my thing in her mouth, can't take it out. No, you out here trolling for the clout, shut your mouth. You being goalie for the clout, hit his spouse. Oh, swaggerlicious, they say Chingy this. All white coupe, that's a Mercedes brick. Flip a stack without hitting a lick. E40 with the balls, cause with this I'm sick. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm on go, my they on go, yeah. La mama, she on go, hey, who did it? I don't know, huh?
For that.
I thought I was enough for you, baby, but I guess I was wrong. What does she got that I ain't got? What can she do that I can't do? I got the beauty and the brains, but love made you go insane, and now you wanna walk away and give all your love away. I put in the time, and you're still not mine. Ooh, you're so stupid. Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me? Baby, I'm the baddest. You could have had it. How could you lose me?
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Chingy, Adam. What's going on with you, Adam?
Nothing much. How about you?
I cannot complain. I know last night, the Oscars were on. I know you and Chingy have a lot to discuss, so I'll turn the floor over to you all.
Yeah, sure thing. So I watched a portion of the Oscars last night. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. And first thing I want to say is it flowed really well. I think everything moved along quickly. The absence of a host meant I think they just can go and move from one category to another and put in the songs when they need to put in the songs. So I think overall the show, it was really good. How about you, TK?
Yeah, I thought that the flow was. I got a little scared actually, because does this mean now that we're going to have the lack of that type of talent at the Oscars? I hope they don't try this and move away from actually having a host, because when they have the right host, it's a much better event.
Yeah, maybe. I can't even think of a host that I liked enough that they would make a difference. So,
I think Whoopi did really good when she did it. I thought she did really, really good when she did it.
Oh,
I enjoyed her.
Before my time, TK.
Ah.
I don't remember hosting, but I'm sure she did a very good job.
So what did you think about the winners? What did you think about the turn of events?
So, there were some surprises for me. So, a lot of people called, Regina King winning for Feel Free to Talk, Rami Malek winning for Best Actor, Roma winning, obviously, Best Foreign Film, and Best Director for Alfonso Cuarón. But there were some surprises, and I think my favorite speech was Olivia Colman when she won Best Actress. And if you watch it, I think this was the best reaction and speech to watch, because she was truly shocked. She broke down in tears as soon as it announced, and you could tell that it was authentic. She had no, I think it's someone who didn't think she'd have a chance against Glenn Close, and she won. And,
she was hilarious. She was hilarious. Her speech.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen The Favorite?
No.
Sorry? No, I haven't.
It's really good. It's really good. You should see it. It's really good.
Yeah, and it will be. It's on my list now, especially now that she won. So that was great. So I guess the big movie, of course, Green Book winning, I thought was fine. I still wanted Roma to win, but I had a feeling once it won Best Foreign Film, they would give it some variety and switch it up. I think I really enjoyed Green Book when I watched it, and it wasn't on my list of movies I didn't want to win, like Vice or Bohemian Rhapsody. So I was fine with that. I know it was a surprise. I really didn't think Green Book was even going to win. So
I didn't either, honestly.
That was an interesting change. But overall, everything was, I think on point. What about you?
I was a little surprised with Green Book because I didn't expect for it to win. I thought Bohemian Rhapsody may have had that spot because it was really that good. But I'm glad that Remy got the award. He deserved it. Really, really good. And Regina King finally, after all these years, finally, I'm glad she got one. So I've predicted that Mahershala Ali is on fire this year. And I'm only predicting that he is going to clean up at the Emmys this year as well, simply because of the True Detective part. Like, everything worked out really well with him with timing and how things were released. It just is Mahershala Ali time right now. So he's doing really well. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. And Spider-Verse won, which I think we all begged and knew that would
absolutely. That was awesome. If you haven't seen it, Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse. Check it out.
Yeah.
So, Adam, what did you think about Spike Lee's outburst?
Oh, when he jumped onto Samuel L. Jackson? I thought it was fun.
No, not that. About him not winning the award for best film.
Oh, what did he do?
He had a tantrum, so to speak.
Like in the middle of the event?
Yeah, so he got
while they were getting their award.
he got up and walked towards the back of the auditorium. He came back, sat down, turned around, and talked to Jordan Peele. But you could tell it was a tense conversation. And so when he went out, to do the interviews, like for the winners, he said it was like watching the at Madison Square and watching the Knicks play, and the ref made a bad call.
Well, that's it. I don't know. I guess I didn't see that part. I mean,
they didn't show it. They didn't show it. It was reported.
Okay, Spike Lee's an interesting character, right? I mean, we all know that he has his own personality. I mean, he was dressed like a train conductor at the Oscars, so he has his own style and personality. I mean, it's fine. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, some personalities are like that, and you just kind of move on. I don't think. I don't know. I didn't feel too slighted about it. I guess I'm just learning about it now. So I don't think any less of him. Definitely, because that's his personality, right? So you kind of just expect that. So it's not going to stop me from seeing any of his movies in the future for sure.
So we had a conversation at work today, and maybe you two can help me. So the song "Shallow" that Lady Gaga sings in "A Star Is Born" with Bradley Cooper, right? It won an Oscar. So does everyone involved with that song get the Oscar?
That's a good question.
That is a good
they
question.
They probably have more little ones in the back, or that's a good question. I don't know the technicalities of it.
I think it's the people behind it, like who produced and wrote it. But I think Lady Gaga wrote that. Didn't she write that? I don't know. But I think
she did.
Yeah.
But I'm also remembering back to Aladdin when Regina Bell and Peabo Bryson sung that song.
Yeah.
And it won an Oscar. So they got an Oscar for that particular song, and they didn't write it. They just sang it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
That is good.
Yeah.
What was your best intro? So, I really like John Lewis's speech.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I like the opening with Tina Fey and all them. I like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They did a great job. But yeah, I think overall, again, it was well done. I liked the people who did present. Even Awkwafina and John Mulaney had a good little back and forth and talking about best documentary short and best animated short and things like that. So it's it was definitely not a strong lineup this year. We saw, as we've seen in previous years, but nothing really angered me in the decisions, and I think everyone did a great job, and all the speeches were, pretty well done.
And Hollywood, just want to say, yay for the diversity this year. Yay!
Yeah. 13 women won last night. 13 women won last night, too, by the way. So it was a big night for women and for, like you said, diverse group of people who won. So that was good. Really good. Really good. Did you watch any movies or anything coming out the pipeline you want to discuss?
So I just finished the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. I absorbed it. It was so good. Definitely check that out. The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah.
I
heard it was really good. Mary J's in that, right?
Yeah. Can I just say this? And Mary, don't hurt me when you see me. I think she's a much better actress than she is a singer.
Don't talk about Mary's music. But she is a good actress.
No. She is a legend. I'm not talking about her music. Her music is, it is what it is. She's an icon and a legend.
Right.
But I like her acting. I really do. I like this for her.
Yeah. There's also a Netflix series. I happened to start watching it on Thursday, and I've been watching it on Friday. It's called Dating Around. It is so good. It's almost like House Hunters, but for couples, like married couple. I mean, not married couples. Like, so the concept is a person. They pick a person. Like the first one was it was a guy, and he went on 5 blind dates with women. He didn't know anything about them. He didn't know what they look like or anything, and he goes on 5 blind dates, and then it starts off at the restaurant. They have drinks first, and they're talking, getting to know each other. Then they have dinner at the same restaurant, and then if all goes well, they go to an after hour spot to have another drink, kind of a nightcap kind of thing. And then you find out on the next day, which I'm sure is a couple days later, who they decide to go on the second date with. And so it's just interesting watching the people interact. I remember the first guy, I was thinking he was going to pick this other girl. And he ended up picking someone else. But when I saw them together the second time, I said, okay, I get it. But it was one girl who she didn't pick anyone. I don't think anyone wanted her. She's Indian descent, but she's from Texas. And it's all shot in New York, by the way. So she was living in New York. And she was previously married when she was young. She got married to her high school sweetheart. And she said it was because of pressure of her family were pressuring to get married. It wasn't an arranged marriage, but they were pressuring to get married. So she married him, knowing it wasn't going to work. So, but they got divorced. And so one of the guys she was on the blind date with, the more they talked, and of course alcohol's going, he said, so pretty much you were living a lie. And she said, well, you obviously don't know the cultural difference of the pressure from my Indian family for me to get married. He said, no, I get that. He said, I have Indian friends. He said, but you were living a lie. You married someone you didn't like. And she said, well, obviously we're never going to talk again. He said, you're right. And he got up and walked out. He walked out on the date. But it's just interesting seeing the dynamics. Could you go on a blind date with someone you know nothing about?
I have. Yeah, I have.
I haven't. I refuse. I don't like being awkward. And it shows on my face.
Oh, yeah, and you're already awkward enough.
I mean, let's talk about what it is. It's a blind date. So it's basically you going to a place knowing that you're going to engage with a person. That's basically what it is. You just don't know who the person is.
Right.
There's really no pressure about that. There is no pressure.
There'd be pressure for me.
You what?
Yes.
Oh, it's no pressure.
But no, check it out. It's called
even now, pretending to get a phone call.
And I will.
Oh, I gotta go.
It's called dating around. But no, it was one. It was another couple. The man, I felt this guy. He had been married 35 years. His wife passed away 3 years ago to cancer, and so it was interesting. I really enjoyed their segment with the older, watching them on dates. One lady, her husband had died a year ago. And so this was her first time really dating, and the way they do it, they don't show the dates separately. They intergroup them so you can hear different conversations and how they feel. So one woman asked him, don't you think it's rude for someone to be on their cell phone on a date? And he said, yeah. He said, I won't say it's rude. He just said, I wouldn't do it. And then they pan to this other woman, the woman who had just lost her husband, and her phone goes off as her daughter. He said, oh, it's my daughter. She's checking to see how the date's going. So he said, well, tell her it's awesome. So they're texting. She had a whole conversation with her daughter. He looked so disgusted.
Wow.
But one lady, you could tell he really liked her. She was more like she worked in fashion, and she's really kind of outgoing, kind of quirky. And he was like, you want to go to the after hour spot? No, I'm tired. I want to go home. It was just weird, It's just, I mean, you could tell she wasn't interested in him. You know what I mean? But it was just interesting. It was definitely interesting watching that.
When they have the celebrity version, I'm going to sign you up.
You all right there, Steve?
He didn't think that was funny.
Did we lose him?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had you on mute. I'm sorry. No, I said no. Don't sign me up for that one. But Adam, anything that you watched or that you're anticipating coming out?
So I think it's rolling into some good movies. Just 3 on my radar that come out this week. St. Judy, which is about an immigration attorney named Judy Wood. It's based on a true story, and she worked on asylum law to save women's lives. So that one seems pretty good. Stray, which is an interesting one where this detective is solving this case of this girl's mom dying, but the girl has kind of these superpowers that she's unaware about. So it's kind of like a mix of a comic book and real life movie. And then The Wedding Guest, which is stars Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire, and it's about this British Muslim man, and he's going across Pakistan and India with this girl that I don't know if he's abducted her. The trailer doesn't give a lot of information, but it definitely seems intriguing. So 3 on my radar for sure.
Nice. All right. Anything else, guys?
That's it.
All right.
No, that's about it.
All right. Well, listen, have a great week. Thanks for letting us know what to spend our money on and what not to. And we'll talk next Monday.
All right.
All right. When we come back, Janera and Budget Shopaholic right back after this.
Music machine. Lyrics.
This that bang right here, K.
Yeah, boy.
Word. Look.
Do you think?
Look. The product of housing tenements. Try blending with the innocent. It's to the moon like we chasing stars. Drinks in the air, we about to raise the bar. High Valerian can speak it, then can eat with us. Dwayne Martin, these is just some seat fillers. Teach, level up there, see the growth. Cryptocurrency, bitcoins to who need the most. Look. Was quick to want squeeze the toast. These days, bout my bread till I see a loaf. Greedy, couple plates, we gon' eat the most. Point game, if we trail, at least we keep it close. Sipping toast, sipping in moderation. It was written in a proclamation. My obligation to the fairest the will. Give food for thought till they cherish the meal. Swerve it and pill. Chicks, notice the squad. I ain't talking foreign exchange when I study abroad. Know the facade. Got us lunching up an Olive Garden. Talking about portfolios and profit margins. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. Deep slumber, sleep till we see numbers. In a vision, seen it like Steve Wonder. Each summer hit a monetary apex. Lifestyle's much more than having safe sex. Strategic talks, dudes who don't pay chess. That's starving, only getting a taste test. Hood the thesaurus, finish wines imported. Learn the game from ballers that stay scoreless. Rap we paint portraits. Spitting riddles like we socially awkward. Pyrex jaws to the corporate office. Catapulted movements was flawless. We about to take a sabbatical. Got the brand, the crown's just collateral. We patrolling different avenues. Life's a bitch, used to wanna marry you. Look, it's kinda hard to think practical. Figure simple to new rational. Lack of aptitude, now me down the Georgia Shore. Authoritative, if you spill it, then it's word be law. Code of language, shit you never heard before. Verbal onslaught, like, what do you wanna hurt me for? Dig, I'm a lyrical enthusiast. Mumble rap, meet these niggas with a crucifix. We used to listen with exuberance. Think they bars coming from a lack of tutelage. Throwing jabs like a pugilist. Not the best, I suggest you go review your list. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal. We done finally reached the pinnacle. Without compromising the principles. Life good, overseas, different interviews. Back then, used to do it for the minimal.
We're finally here.
Talk to him, K.
We're finally here.
Boy, lyrics, man. K Black the music machine.
We're finally here.
Feeling this.
We're finally here.
Oh yeah.
Great. How are you, Steven? Not long enough, as usual. I do. So I just want to warn everybody that it's not as many as I like to have because spring is coming, and so sales are really scarce until the warmer months. But this is about the time where things get scarce, and then they're going to pick right back up. So Shutterfly.com is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 50% off of almost everything. Plus, you can get free shipping on your purchase of $39 or more. Express is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can buy one, get one, 50% off of everything. New York and Company is also having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 30% off of your purchase of $50 or more. Victoria's Secret is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get a $20 reward card with your purchase of $50 or more. So that's $20 to apply toward a purchase later on. And they're going to, of course, advertise the dates. The Children's Place is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 60% off of your purchase. The Loft is having a sale, and if you shop there now, they're having a flash sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 60% off of your styles, of select styles. And last but not least, The Limited is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get up to 75% off of your purchase. Plus, you can get an extra 25% off of all pants and jeans. I do. I love eBay. Yes. Yes, I absolutely love it. Because, I mean, of course, like, the savings, you think that the savings aren't big, but over time it can really add up. And, you know, like, I think especially around like, big gift-giving times, like Christmas and Hanukkah, like during the holiday season, you can rack up for Ebates. And then you have to also watch Ebates because there are times when they, like, increase the amount of the amount back that you get, and you get actual cash, and that's why I like them. So, you know, you have to definitely watch Ebates because you can rack up there. Yep, and then it is, and they have the app. You can get the app as well. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yep. That's right. Okay, I'll see you then. Talk to you then.
She likes to read books on philosophy. She only eats at small cafes. She questions every single part of me. She makes me better every day. It's not the way she styles her hair or the designer clothes she wears. Her silhouette's one of a kind, but most of all, she's got a beautiful mind. She's got a beautiful mind. She's got a beautiful mind. So many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. The black American dream, it sounds so wonderful. The only thing I need's my Claire Huxtable. My Claire Huxtable. My Claire Huxtable. We'll be in a brownstone and BK, listen to Stevie and Coltrane. I know that she out there for me. Oh yeah, have us a few kids one day, a couple of Lisa, a Bonnies. I know that she out there for me. Oh yeah, so many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. American dream sounds so wonderful. Only thing I need, my Claire Huxtable. My Claire Huxtable. My train. I know that she out there for me. Player hustle, having some few kids. One day, a couple of Lisa, a boat names. I know that she out there for me. Player hustle. So many girls I see are wild and lovable, but I'm looking for my queen, my Claire Huxtable. The black American dream sounds so wonderful. Only thing I need, my Claire Huxtable.
This is Miss Parker, and you're listening to the Stevie Knight Show.
Well, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Shout out to Chingy for joining us. Go to our website for more information on him and how you can find out how to get tickets to the tour, the Millennium Tour. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Peace and good night.
Tonight is all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty, pretty, pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe